Good morning, everybody. I hope everybody's week has gone well. We have a lot to talk about today. Um, two things. Number one, before we talk about the Royals, um, I want to bring up what happened in Australia. I'm assuming you guys can see me, hear me. I want to bring up what happened in Australia. For those of you who are unaware, I'm going to show you a series of videos. They are distressing. Okay. They are distressing. If you don't want to watch this kind of stuff, avert your eyes for a couple of minutes because I really feel that I need to show you these. Okay. I'm going to say it one more time. These are distressing images. So we're going to start with this video, which came out. Here we go.
¿Qué está pasando? Dice, escucha, dice que está pasando. ¿Qué está pasando? Pero no sé quién.
So what that is people running for their lives because there was a get together in Australia on the beach for a Hanukkah event. Okay. So this is the next video. Here we go.
Rescue him.
He's dead.
Good. They have to, but fucking move. Hey, take a walk. Take a walk.
Get off!
Terrible. He's yelling, she's dead, she's dead, she's dead. So there's no point, I guess they were saying there's no point in continuing life-saving measures for that person. Now, in the middle of all this, one man stepped up. There were multiple attackers. One man stepped up, and this is what happened. I hope everybody would do this. Here we go. Look at this.
Oh!
Took him down.
Oh no!
Took the gun from him. But then he took the gun from him. But then what happened was there was another attacker on a bridge not far away. And that attacker shot this guy. Who was the hero. The attacker shot him. So he's now in surgery for multiple bullet wounds. And then there's a rabbi who came out. This is the video he put up. Here we go. Make sure you can see it. Let me add it to the stage. Now, what the rabbi said when he put that up is he said, 6 months ago on a speaking tour in Australia, I warned Australia Jewry that there would be a mass casualty event because of how bad anti-Semitism had become, and I was dismissed as a fearmonger. I can no longer believe this happened in a country I loved so much and my wife's country. And finally, this was said, and I think this is going to be the turning point for Australia. Here we go.
Pushing kills the Jews. That's the Jews. Government did nothing. Before Israel did anything. For 3 weeks, Israel didn't do anything. And here, there were marches and celebrations, the Jews and Israelis, because not only Jews, all the Israelis were Bedouins killed, Arabs killed, foreign workers killed, German people were killed, like Argentina, everywhere, they were killed. And what did Australia do? Our government, Albanese and Penny Wong, gave $25 million to Gaza. Why? To make Hamas stronger and to show people locally that it's okay to kill people. That's why we have it here. We're just celebrating. It's celebrating. Kids we were celebrating. Kids were getting some food. So there were a lot of activities like face painting, bubbles, rock climbing. So kids being kids. There were a lot of kids, different age, from under 1 year old to like 15, 16. A lot of kids. There's the shooting stuff happening. Not only kids, adult, elderly people came here to see. It's a kids' party. Hanukkah is primarily for kids. This person who went there, he knew what he was doing.
Okay. You guys get the idea. You get the idea. So now people in Australia are angry because everybody said they knew there would be another mass casualty event. It was bound to happen. And now it's happened. I think it will be very interesting to see what Australia's reaction is going to be to this. I will keep you guys posted on that. Okay, as it develops. It's a developing story. Yes, Hanukkah starts today. Now, because normally I would show you guys what giving the kids gifts, and I would tell you what we're doing. But as most of you know, my oldest son closed on a property and has moved in, and my husband and I have spent more money than we actually have to help him out. I'm shocked. These places came without shower curtain rods. Like every house I've ever bought has had a shower curtain rod. So we had to go buy shower curtain rods. There were no blinds on the windows. We had to go buy blinds. Those were almost $100 a window. And blackout blinds for his bedroom. We had to buy, the cabinets came without handles. We had to buy handles, and my husband had to install them. We've spent so much money on this kid. We bought him an entertainment center. We gave him pots, pans, plates, cups, bowls, a mixer, everything he needs. So because we've spent so much money doing that, we've informed him that those are his Hanukkah gifts. And he's gotten 8 more than 8 nights of Hanukkah. So he's not getting anything else. You want the Hanukkah song? Which one? The Adam Sandler one? Because that's a good one. I like that one. I know that one. So he's not getting anything. My gift to my husband was to send him off to Key West with another friend, and they are currently there diving. They're scuba diving. So that's costing God knows what. So that was his gift. My younger son wanted a 3D printer, another 3D printer. So he got that. And what did I get? Nothing. As is typical, mom spends all her money on everybody else, but that's okay. Cause I feel like as a parent, that's what you should do. So, anyway, thank you. Everybody's wishing me happy Hanukkah. Thank you so much. Unfortunately, I never found the Hanukkah stuff. It's packed in boxes. We really need to get through the rest of the boxes. We've been here long enough. I'm just freaking lazy is what it is. I admit it. Okay. So, 8 Crazy Nights. Do you guys know that song by Adam Sandler? Okay. No comments about my singing. Here we go. It's like, put on your yarmulke. Here comes Hanukkah. So much funukkah to celebrate Hanukkah. Hanukkah is the festival of lights. Instead of one night of presents, we get 8 crazy nights. So when you feel like the only kid in town without a Christmas tree, here's a list of people who are Jewish, just like you and me. Okay. David Lee Roth lights the menorah. So does James Caan, Kirk Douglas, and the late Dinah Shora. Guess who eats together at the Carnegie Deli? Bowser from Sha Na Na and Arthur Fonzarelli. Paul Newman's half Jewish. Goldie Hawn's half too. Put them together, what a fine looking Jew. You don't need Deck the Halls or Jingle Bell Rock, because you can spin a dreidel with Captain Kirk and Mr. Spock, both Jewish. Put on your yarmulke, here comes Hanukkah. So much funukkah to celebrate Hanukkah. Wait, what was the rest? There's more. They list They list the rest of the Jews. It's funny. I just can't remember. Suddenly I'm having a brain thing and I just can't remember the rest of it. No, I can't remember the rest. Oh God, my memory. Sent you a royal fashion. Yes, I'll take a look at that. Anyway, it's funny. It's a funny song. I love Adam Sandler. All right, let's go on now. Let's move on from your brain bleed from the singing. And Carol, somebody else is asking, can you send that fashion link? Maybe you could put it up in the description box because somebody else would like it. Let me see if I can find that. Hold on. Sandler. Let me see. I'm looking, guys. Hold on. Oh, here we go. After Can You Spin a Dreidel with Captain Kirk and Mr. Spock, put on your yarmulke. Here comes Hanukkah. The owner of the Seattle Supercut Sonicas celebrates Hanukkah. O.J. Simpson, not a Jew. But guess who is? Hall of Famer Rod Carew. He converted. We got Ann Landers and her sister, dear Abby. Harrison Ford's a quarter Jewish, not too shabby. Some people think that Ebenezer Scrooge is. Well, he's not, but guess who is? All three Stooges. So many Jews are in showbiz. Tom Cruise isn't, but I think that his agent is. So tell your friend Veronica, it's time to celebrate Hanukkah. I hope I get a harmonica on this lovely, lovely Hanukkah. So drink your gin and tonica, but smoke your marijuana. If you really, really want to have a happy, 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 happy Hanukkah. That's it. Okay. Here we go. Let's move on now to the royal family news, shall we? Oh my God. Now that your ears will stop bleeding. There's been a little bit more drama with Thomas Markle. This whole back and forth. She sent the email, but he didn't get the email. She refuses to call him because she's concerned that somebody might overhear the conversation. I don't think it's that big of a deal if you call up and say, hey, Dad, I love you. I hope you're doing well, blah, blah. Who cares if they overhear that? She cares. Miss, I put myself out into the news 20 times a day, suddenly wants privacy, which just kills me every time she pulls that stuff. You can't, it doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. Thank you, Michelle. Happy Hanukkah to you. You can't go back and forth that way. You can't say you want privacy and then put yourself out into the news every 5 minutes. It's kind of a joke. Thank you, Grammy Bug. Thank you. Happy Hanukkah to you too. You can't do that. So, but here's the thing. They're saying it's a test because she's wanting to see if he will release the letter. Well, there's rumors out there as to what she wrote to him. Are you ready? It's being reported that she wrote to him and voiced her displeasure at how he's broken her trust in the past. All about her. He hurt her. How dare you break my trust? How dare you release my past letter? And this is a test to see if you can keep your mouth shut. And I'm like, if that's the case, then, oh my God, I hope that letter does get released, because that would absolutely be the end of her. Absolutely. I think it, now I should tell you also that on Twitter, Samantha Markle is on Twitter and I follow her on Twitter. I don't talk to her, but I follow her. And I put up something. I can't even remember what it was, but I put something up on Twitter. Yeah, we all know what happened there. She didn't even say, by the way, let me go back and just tell you that the last letter that she wrote, Thomas Markle said himself, she never said, I love you. She never asked about his health. It was all about how you've hurt me. That was the letter she sent to her father that got released to the press. And the only reason she won that case is because they printed more than a certain percentage of the letter. If they printed less of it, then she wouldn't have won that court case. She also claims she donated the money to a bullying charity, and to this day she hasn't announced which charity, because I don't believe she donated the money personally. Anyway, what I was saying was I posted something on Twitter, and Samantha Markle came on my Twitter and wrote something like, "That's not true." And I finally wrote to her and said, I responded and said, all this back and forth is so confusing. Did she or did she not write him a letter? Did he get a letter? She says no. She says he did not get anything from him. Nothing. So it'll be very interesting to see what happened. And as far as the first letter goes, yes, Thomas Markle didn't release the contents of that letter. He sat on that letter for like 6 months, 7 months. Meghan instead sent her 5 friends to People magazine to say what a great letter it was and how Thomas Markle had hurt her and blah, blah, blah. She's poking the bear to try to get him to release parts of that letter. I think it will be interesting to see what she does this time to try to get him to, release the letter if he got one. Samantha Markle wrote on Twitter that he didn't get one. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. Then the next thing about that whole mess is they're saying that she's deleted his number again. She didn't delete his number again. She can't call him. She doesn't have his number. She deleted his number 7 years ago because she was of the mind that she was never going to contact him again, and she never has. And she has no intention of calling him. She has no intention of doing anything with this man. She's upset that she's been put in this position. And in the meantime, she's putting out all this PR. Meghan's new holiday tradition with Lily and Archie, Meghan's new family, blah, blah, blah. Meghan's doing this, Meghan's doing that. Meghan's putting out a new documentary. Meghan's blah, 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 blah. Nothing about her dad. Not a peep. Not a peep. I feel bad for Thomas Markle. Your love for your children it's hard to explain unless you have children. Now, let me just say, and this will not be a popular thing to say, but it's an honest thing to say, I love both of my children equally. But my son with autism, there were times growing up where I didn't like him very much. His behavior, things he said, things he did, he made it so hard on my husband and I. You can't imagine. Raising him was 10 times harder than just having a normal child, believe me. So there were times when I didn't like him very much, but I always loved him to the moon and back. Same thing with my other son, always to the moon and back. And so Thomas Markle may not like the things that Meghan has done to him, but he will always love her. And that's a parent's love. That's what it is. What I don't think he's been able to ingest, if this makes sense, I don't think he's been able to ingest that he raised her this way. He lied to her. He's admitted in Tom Bauer's book, Revenge, that he lied to her. That, he told her that Nickelodeon was coming just because of her letter, when the truth is he arranged it. He bolstered her to the point where, it is what it is. Just like with Harry and Charles. Charles loves Harry. That's his son. But at the same time, he understands that Harry's damaging the monarchy. So, I mean, and he may not like what Harry's doing, and he may not agree with Harry's choices, and he may not like Harry's wife, and he may think that Harry's behavior is horrible, but he's still going to love Harry because that's his son. Does that make sense, you guys? You sometimes I was so angry with that kid. He was a constant liar. Every word that came out of his mouth had to be double checked. He would tell me things and I would go in his defense only to find out that he didn't tell me the whole story or he lied. I mean, there were times where I was just like, please go to your room, go play your video games, go read your book, go do something, because I need you out of my sight. Like right now, go. But I always loved him and always support him. And, you always love him no matter what. And that's the conundrum for Charles and Thomas Markle Jr. I mean, Thomas Markle Sr. That's the conundrum. They don't like what their kids are doing. They don't like the choices their kids have made, but they love their kids. And you love the child. That's it. Exactly. You love the child, not the behavior. Exactly. Exactly. Yep. You always love them, but sometimes you really so um it's it can be difficult as a parent to sit back and watch your child struggle in school and get bullied every day in school. And, you're asking the school, the public school system, and the teacher. It's like, I'm not asking you to fight his battles, but I'm asking you not to let him get beaten up every day at school. I'm asking you when people say nasty things to hold that kid to account and say, we don't talk to people that way. But they never did. They never did, which is why I'm telling you, if you have a neurodivergent child like I did, don't send them to public school because they are not equipped for those kinds of school. Oh, Trevor's here. Hi, Trevor. Hi, Trevor. Trevor knows my trials and tribulations. I didn't raise her alone. Yep. And that's the thing. I had a regular kid also side by side. Yep. Thank you, Carol. It's true. Because I had one son who breezed through school. He was voted most popular in his class. He had a ton of friends. We always had full birthday parties. Everybody liked him. And then you have another son that at the age of 9, you had to say, guess what? We're not having birthday parties for you because you're past the age of birthday parties. You're outgrown that. We're going to take you to Carowinds instead. We're going to drive you to the amusement park in North Carolina. And I would get one of my friends who had a child the same age, their husband and the child would go. So there'd be 4 people riding the coasters all day, and he would have a great time. And that's how we handled it, because it got to the point where there was nobody to invite to his birthday parties. It was, you got to do your work around. Now, he did notice as he got older that my younger son continued to have birthday parties. I mean, it's hard. It's really hard. So, but anyway, but that's why people are saying, well, Thomas Markle should just cut him off. It doesn't work that way. Your love for your child, it doesn't work that way. I don't know what else to say about that. Anyway, I do think that Thomas Markle would be better off without Meghan. He should focus on Thomas Markle Jr., who moved to the Philippines with him and is helping take care of him. He should spend his energy on the child that's actually there supporting him, and not on the child who's a multimillionaire who's absolutely forsaken him. And I think, but I think he's so desperate just to see her one more time because that was his flower. You know what I mean? Yeah, I feel bad for the man. I really do. So it is what it is. Let's see what else. Now by the way, and we're discussing, yes. Yeah. What happened there? If you guys are just joining, you'll have to go back to the beginning to see the videos. It's absolutely horrible. There's been a mass attack in Australia against the Jewish community who was on a beach celebrating Hanukkah with small children. And there's multiple deaths, and multiple people have spoken out and said, you let these people in here. There's so much anti-Semitism. We knew this was going to happen. Now it's happened. What are you going to do about it? It's shocking. Anyway, now my video tomorrow covers a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff, but one of the things that we're going to discuss is the cookie documentary that Meghan and Harry are executive producing. I just want you guys to know that this is what they did with Live to Lead. It was already done. It was done by somebody else. They saw it. They thought, oh, this is great. And they put money towards executive producing it. Now, it seems to me that what they probably tried to do was go through Netflix with their first look deal. And Netflix said, nope. And so they teamed up with 2 other groups, and they're producing this thing, and it's going to the Sundance Film Festival. I don't understand the whole point of Sundance. If it's so great, why don't you, release it to Disney, release it to, any of these other streamers? My guess is they don't want it. And I, for one, won't watch it. And what's the big deal about, I used to go around selling cookies. As a matter of fact, back in New York, back in the 60s and early 70s, they used to let us go around by ourselves and knock on doors selling cookies. How dangerous is that when you look back on it? How dangerous is that? I mean, but I mean, I used to sell them too. I don't go around making documentaries about it. It was, she wants you to believe, oh, and my mother was the brownie leader. And in one of the pictures, you'll see she's got the claw on her mother. So she's been doing that since she was a kid. The funny thing is, you see pictures of Doria with Megan when she was younger, but you don't see pictures of Doria from like age, I want to say 8 up through like 16. Doria is not in any pictures. I mean, I think she showed up to the high school graduation or something, but Doria it just wasn't there. And for some reason, Megan really wants to push the absentee parent forward as the good parent. And she's completely just knocked Thomas Markle out of the running like he was a parent. I just think it's ridiculous. And, one other thing you should know, and you'll see this in tomorrow's video. I actually posted it for you. Somebody claims that their significant other works at Netflix, and that in a room at Netflix, they put free as ever products because she can't get rid of them. Flour sprinkles and jelly, or, her spread and her tea and, all of that kind of stuff. And that people she's literally giving it away for free because she can't sell it. This stuff's not selling out. And of course, she did the chocolate bars. I don't know who would pay $36 and then another something for shipping, $40 something for chocolate. And she did that because she's trying to get rid of some of her stock. So like in some of the chocolate, she dumped her raspberry spread, and some of the chocolate she dumped in her flour spring. I mean, this is what happens when you can't get rid of your, content. Did she sell chocolate? She did. She did a limited edition chocolate, and in one she put bee pollen, which if you're and of course no warnings on the labels, you can't take bee pollen, and is it bee pollen? It's bee something, and blood thinners. So if you're on blood thinners, you can't have that chocolate. But just like with the bath salts, of which there's now a warning, there was no warning. And look, she's being sued by somebody who was seriously burned with her bath salt recipe. I'm shocked that Netflix didn't put a disclaimer up on the show for some of this stuff. And then after the lawsuit, they still didn't do a disclaimer. I mean, still to this day, I don't get that. But she white chocolate, she dumped in flowers, and let me see if I still have it. Here we go. First, she had dark chocolate with raspberry spread and sea salt, white chocolate with flour sprinkles and hemp hearts, and milk chocolate with shortbread and bee pollen. It's disgusting. And it was limited edition. So basically it was $12 a bar. So you're looking at you had to buy all 3 bars at once. So you're looking at $36 plus shipping. So it's $40 something for 3 bars of chocolate. Listen, you guys know I have a husband from Europe. I know all about European chocolate. 10 times better, I assure you, than anything she made. I'd rather have some Lindt chocolate, Lindt. I think that's how you spell it. I would rather have Lindt chocolate. I would rather have, any of these European chocolate brands. Milka, I wouldn't buy her stuff. I just wouldn't. And by the way, I'm going to say something. Royal Daily Tea is saying on here that she bought the white one with the flour sprinkles, and she's going to do a taste test. But I got to tell you, first of all, for me, I haven't bought one of her products because I'm not giving her a freaking dime of my money. Number 2, she said herself that the stuff was basically inedible. It was like baby food. It was disgusting. I wouldn't have put that stuff in my mouth. Not even close. Oh yeah, here you go. Aldi chocolate. Hershey's. There's, unbelievable. Unbelievable. Anyway, yeah, I wouldn't buy her chocolate. That's just me. All right. Does anybody else? Oh, by the way, one other thing I want to discuss before we move on. The thing about what was the thing about Harry's security, because they want to go back to the UK, right? Because he wants to go back and have meetings, and he doesn't want to talk to the king or the UK government every time he wants to travel back. I got to be honest. I don't know that the review is going to work, because you know what? They're going to do this review, and you know what they're going to say at the end of the review? If they say no at the end of the review, Harry's just going to come up with something else. I mean, he asked, he was told no. He sued, he was told no. He appealed, he was told no. Then he appealed privately to Miss Mahmood. Now they're doing another appeal and another review. And if they say no to that, I don't know what he's going to do next. But he does want to go back to the UK. He wants his children to live in the UK. Here's the thing. Meghan doesn't want to go back to the UK. Meghan never wanted to live there. Meghan doesn't like it there. Meghan likes the Hollywood lifestyle. Meghan likes rubbing shoulders with Oprah Winfrey and Tyler Perry, and Ellen DeGeneres and all of these other people. And it's just, she's not going to move back. I don't know why people keep saying that she's going to move back. She's not going to move back. She's not going back. She hates the UK. And if you believe for 1 second that she's going to let those children out of the United States, you got another thing coming. Those children are her meal ticket. They're her meal ticket. She's not going to let them go and live in the UK and go to school in the UK. She's just not going to let them. And the funny thing is, they seem to think, with this Project Thaw that they've got going on, they seem to think that they're going to be able to win back over the British people. You can't slam the British people for 5 years and call them racists and attack the Queen's life's work and say horrible things about your brother and your sister-in-law and your father and your stepmother, and then just go back. You can't. The Queen gave you a 1-year probationary period. You made your bed. Now you got to lie in it. Sucks for you. And don't forget, you guys, that if he gets his UK security back, for those of you in the UK, you'll be paying his security now out of your tax dollars, even though there's no benefit to the UK people for his work, because he doesn't work for the crown anymore. People in the United States he will now demand security from the United States. I can tell you that while Trump is in office, he's not going to get that. It's not going to happen. He's still going to have to pay for his own security, but Trump won't be in office forever. So, that's just my personal opinion. Yep. Hit that like button, guys. It helps push it out. So I don't know why everybody's going on and on and on and on about this, because Meghan's never going to move back to the UK. She hates the UK. She's still demanding an apology from the royal family, which she's never going to get. And let me tell you something. If you guys heard the BBC interview with Harry after he lost his case, I showed it to you in my video the other day. Do you remember what he said? Do you guys remember what he said? He's still working for the UK government. That's what he said. He's still representing them, is what he said. The guy is nuts. He says, I've been doing it for 35 years. So basically he claims that since he's been 5 years old, he's been representing the government, and that he's still representing the government. That's what it is. I mean, I don't know what to say about anything else about that. All right, let me see if you guys have any questions. While you're writing them, I just found out that this thing holds 3 cups of water, so I'm drinking 3 of these a day. I don't leave my house when I drink 3 of these a day, because damn. Oh my God. Armed police won't stop a sniper. Yep. Forget Bondi. Look what happened to Charlie Kirk. He's sitting there. There was security around him. There were people around him, and yet some guy over on top of a roof took a shot at him. I'm just saying. You want protection, and yet you move to a country where everybody owns a gun. Yeah, enough said there. If Meghan was promised the crown, Buckingham Palace and Windsor, she might consider. Well, what's being said, you guys, is not only does Meghan want an apology, but she wants to be treated on the same level as Catherine. So that'll never happen. Do you think they might just be appeasing him by the review? Yeah. Maybe they are appeasing him. Maybe they are having the review so they can say to him, you have now had your review. And it doesn't change anything. Even if the review said, okay, we think you might need security, the court already said no. So it doesn't change anything. If JD Vance gets in, if he runs. Yeah, I have a feeling that JD Vance is going to run after Trump. Didn't he say, just call me Harry? He did say, just call me Harry. That didn't last long, because when they were at Invictus in Canada, Harry and Meghan said, call us ma'am and sir. I mean, listen, you guys, they're playing royal. They're playing American royal. She puts that freaking royal cipher on anything that's standing still. They insisted the kids have the prince and princess titles. The kids have the HRHs. Harry and Meghan have an HRH. They were told not to use them, but yet Meghan is sending things out with HRH on it, because while she claims that that title doesn't matter to her and she's not attached to these things, we all know she really is attached to them. Let's just get back into reality here, okay? She is. And she loves being a royal. She's having herself announced into rooms. I mean, I've said it before, what's going to have to happen. Charles tried to strip Andrew of his title. Parliament wanted no part of it, but Andrew agreed not to use it. But Harry is never going to agree to that. So here's what's going to have to happen, whether they like it or not. William is going to say, listen, we're going to do what the other family did in the other European family. We are streamlining. Prince and princess titles only go to those in the direct line of succession. So Beatrice and Eugenie will lose their prince and princess titles. Archie and Lily will lose their prince and princess titles. Harry will lose. Well, no, Harry will still be Prince Harry. But Beatrice, Eugenie, Archie, and Lily will lose their prince and princess titles and their HRH. And when Harry and Meghan start screaming, it's because it's a racial thing. You can't claim it's a racial thing if Beatrice and Eugenie lose theirs also. Only people in direct line will get those titles. And he doesn't need Parliament for that. He can just, boop, he can just do that on a letters patent and it's done. He also can remove the Prince title from Harry. I don't think he'll do that. I don't think he'll remove the Prince title from Harry, but I do think the Prince and Princess titles from Beatrice, Eugenie, and Lily and Archie will go, along with the HRHs for all 4 of them, and the HRH from Meghan. She doesn't need it. She's not supposed to be using it anyway. So the only person who's going to be left with a Prince title is Harry, with his HRH being in abeyance, and he's not allowed to use it. And if he uses it with the, he'll be told, if you use it, we're going to pull it, and then you're not going to have it at all. So we'll see what happens there. But that's what I think should happen, because think about it. If all of that happens, then Harry can't be crying about needing security. I mean, it is what it is. So the Prince and Princess titles and the HRH titles can be removed with a letters patent, but the Duke and Duchess of Sussex and the Duke and Duchess of York have to be done by Parliament. Oh, I get it. Listen, I get lots of people who tell me they watch the first 15 minutes of my video because that's all about the royal family. And then when it comes to the Harry Meghan stuff, they just shut it off, which I get it. Well, listen, they agreed when they left that they would not use their titles for commercial gain, and they have used their titles for commercial gain. Meghan's sending out private correspondence baskets to her friends, and she's signing it Meghan, Duchess of Sussex, or Her Royal Highness Meghan, Duchess of Sussex. She's not supposed to be using it. Now, I don't think, I got to be honest, I don't think the public will tolerate Harry losing his prince title. I just don't. But I think William could remove the rest and say, like the the other European family did, and say that we are streamlined. The only people with prince, princess, and HRH titles are the first, or it should be the first 5 people in the line of succession. Harry is no longer the first, the fifth in line. He doesn't meet the criteria for fifth in line to succession. Therefore, he doesn't have that title either. But we all have Sussex fatigue, Lisa, all of us, believe me. That's why people watch my video, the first few videos. I keep hearing from people that there's a lot going on in the UK. And what do you call it? There's a lot going on in the UK with the royals, and that nobody's reporting on it. Like, doesn't the UK media, for those of you in the UK, doesn't the UK media cover all these events that the royals go to? Because people are constantly putting up comments saying, I didn't know this happened. I didn't hear about this. I didn't see about this. Nobody's reporting on this. You're the only one reporting it. Like, I don't understand why mainstream media isn't covering all the good works of the royal family. And there is a lot. So, I mean, a lot of stuff. And there's a lot in tomorrow's video also. So, yeah. Hey, Margaret. Yeah, I know you're in the UK. No, that's not true, actually. That's actually not true. They count by the ads that they put in. If you watch an ad, even if you don't make it to the end. Now, that's another thing. People are like, oh my God, there's so many ads. I'm not putting those in. That's YouTube. And my second channel has ads running and it's not monetized. So that just tells you right there. 90% about what you report on the real roles is on MSN. Oh, I'm sure. Yeah. Media is working against the monarchy, but not showing them. Exactly. MSN doesn't cover the works because it's no drama. Exactly. Anyway, that's what's happening. That's my thing. I think it's kind of sad because there's so much. Oh, here we go. Good morning. Not notified. Are you get out of Dodge? Are you subscribed? And did you hit the bell for all notifications? And if you did, my suggestion is to unsubscribe, resubscribe, and try it again. As you guys know, I'm constantly putting information on my videos at the beginning of people going, I've been unsubscribed, I've been knocked off, I can't find your channel, you don't show up in my feed anymore. I've been told that it is a algorithm thing. I don't believe that for 1 second. An algorithm thing doesn't unsubscribe you from my channel. That is what it is. So, but they're just going to have to, I mean, Andrew remains in the line of succession, even though he doesn't have his prince title. Harry can remain in the line of succession. He'll never make it to the throne. And I have to tell you, if something, God forbid, did happen to the Wales family and Harry was next in line, I think the UK would become a republic so quickly, it would make his head spin off his shoulders. Absolutely. So that's what it is. Okay. Any questions? No, Princess. Okay, so Princess Anne, Prince Edward are children of the Queen, not grandchildren of the Queen. So you have to keep that in mind. They're children they were children of the sovereign. When we're talking about Harry, we're talking about a grandchild. And when you talk about Harry and Meghan's kids, you're talking about great grandchildren of Queen Elizabeth, not grandchildren, and the grandchildren of King Charles. So I think William is going to get in there. Obviously, William has something planned because we've all heard William say in one of his previous interviews that he's got, there's going to be changes. I think that was a warning to Harry and Meghan. There's going to be changes. So, do I think William will insist on proof they gave birth to her 2 kids? I don't know that it would be proof per se. But I mean, obviously something's going on. But think about it. If they ask for proof, what's the first thing Harry and Meghan are going to do? What are they going to do? They're going to go to the press and go, they're claiming this, they're claiming that. And there's going to be all kinds of trouble. What should happen is they should somehow surreptitiously get a hair from one of the kids and send it in for a test without Harry and Meghan knowing about it. Here we go. People complained on Trevor's channel. They were not notified. I said about your platform with people not being notified. They've done it a lot. Yep, that's true. Yep. So it is what it is, guys. I unfortunately, I can't help you with any of that. I've already spoken to YouTube so many times and they keep claiming, and I've done a video on this previously. If you go back in my channel, they basically said that you guys were too stupid to figure out how to sign up and hit the notification bell. So it wasn't them, it was you. But then the notification bell, you guys are subscribed and you have the notification bell, and then they claim there's a glitch, and then they claim this, then they claim that. And it's very obvious that the channel's being suppressed. When I used to get 40, 50,000 views, back when I had 20,000 subscribers, 30,000 subscribers, 40,000 subscribers. Now I'm up to 78,000 subscribers and I get 15,000. So the channel's being suppressed. There's nothing I can do about it. YouTube just denies it, and it is what it is. So, but you guys just keep watching. That's all I care. Just keep watching. I'm assuming you're talking about Harry and Meghan because William and Catherine were just invited again to Australia. So I think William and Catherine were invited, not Harry and Meghan. Harry and Meghan put out feelers. And I believe they put out the feelers, and then they were basically told that's not happening. But they put out demands. I covered this in a video not long ago. They put out demands. They wanted full royal treatment, royal greeting at the airport, the motorcade, the barrier. They wanted the whole thing. And they can't justify the cost to the Australian taxpayers because they're not working royals. Now they went to Nigeria and they went to, where else they go? They go to all these really dangerous places because they agreed. Do you remember that one when they were in Nigeria? They had like a 10-car transport with tanks and an ambulance following them around just in case. That's what they want. And people in Nigeria were really upset because a lot of people there live so far below the poverty line, and that money went to multimillionaires, and it didn't go well in Nigeria. It really didn't. Yep. That's true. So it's just like with the Philippines. See, she's not willing to fly supposedly because she said it's dangerous because the Philippines isn't willing to give her full security. So, yeah, I have to tell you, you're absolutely correct on that. Surrogacy is not allowed. That even if it's her egg and his sperm, it has to be of the body. So if a surrogate is used, it's not allowed. But I would still check because if she's 45% Nigerian, I'm concerned that the kids have bright red hair and they're as white as snow, with her 45% Nigerian. So, yeah, I don't know. I also want to say, and we'll be covering this tomorrow again. I'm going to have a really big one. King Charles did a statement on Channel 4 about his cancer. I was very nervous. I thought he was going to say it's getting worse. I really didn't know what he was going to say. Instead, it's getting better. So we've known about this for several days, that he was going to make this statement. So what happened? Prince Harry popped up hours before King Charles's statement to do a surprise visit with Travelist. I mean, it really is quite, I mean, you literally could synchronize your watches. Oh, the family's coming out. Meghan, we need to do something. I mean, it's like, I mean, it is what it is. Anyway, I truly believe that they should bring the kids over. Oh, it's also being said that Harry wants, he doesn't want, he's demanding if he comes back to live back on Windsor grounds. And William is like, no, because that would give him legitimacy. If he gets the security, that would give him legitimacy to be back on royal property. I got to be honest. I think Harry is sitting back now going, wow, I don't have a royal property. I don't live in the UK. My family's not speaking to me. We've lost our Spotify deal. Lemonada deal is gone. And the Netflix is basically downgraded. We're having trouble. We may need to go back. And that's how this whole thing started. So 43%. No, she does not have Malta blood. She claimed she had Malta blood. They took her to Malta. They paid for this whole thing. She did this whole photo op. And then come to find out that was untrue. Another lie. It's just typical. See? I've been watching you since the beginning of the live. Just now I'm getting notified you're live. Yep. Guys, you just have to know that unless I put out a post saying otherwise, you're going to get a video Monday through Saturday in the morning. And then on Sunday, you'll get a live. Unless something's going on. Like I may not do something on Christmas. I doubt on Christmas anybody's going to want to come online and watch me, unless something big happens. Yeah, that's it. All right. Any other questions? Because we've got 6 minutes and then I'm cutting it off. Oh, yes. Yes. Catherine and William needs to come to the United States for sure. Colombia and Jamaica are the worst places to go, but they weren't afraid to go without security. Well, they went, but they were provided security by the countries. So I am already stalking everybody I follow. I know there are no notices. Stalk away, dude. Stalk away. And yes, I am not going to post some of this stuff that's coming out. It's obvious clickbait. I mean, listen, you guys, you don't need to send me emails saying this person said that they spoke with this person and this person said they spoke with, because unless it can be verified, I will not discuss it. This is not a clickbait channel and I won't have anything to do with any of that. So, oh yeah, there you go. Harry wasn't afraid for security when he was knocking on doors. Yep. So I won't be, if I can't, I've told you guys before, if I report it, I can prove it. I'll give you the article. I'll give you the information. If I can't prove it, I will say to you, this is my opinion. You guys will know what is and what isn't. So, oh, you want a Christmas Day video? No, you don't. You want to spend the day with your family. Oh, yes, he does. He treats security as a status symbol. Absolutely. That's his thing. I think he feels more important when he's sitting in a motorcade like he's somebody. He just can't accept that he's not somebody. That's my opinion. I think Megan will write a Dear Daddy book. Oh, I'm there. I'm sure he will. I'm sure she will. And I'm sure it'll be accepted and it will sell just as well as the bench sold. She was giving that book away to libraries and stuff in the end because she couldn't get rid of them. She had like 1,000 copies in her house and she couldn't get rid of it. Now, she's also made allegations before, or a friend of hers made allegations allegedly to Lady C, and Lady C immediately discounted them because right before she married Harry, she was on her TIG saying what a wonderful father he was. He was just the best. He was great. He was great. And, look what he did for me. Look at my fabulous childhood. Look at this, look at that. He doesn't say, she doesn't say anything about her mom. It's all about my dad, my dad, my dad, my dad, my dad. And then suddenly nobody's going to believe that suddenly he's a crappy person. Now, one other thing that, because I see somebody wrote this, the embassy were sent with papers. Embassies in foreign countries, if I were to go to Germany and I'm not a German citizen and I were to get sick and I were to land in the hospital, the American embassy would come and check on me. That's how it works. That's nothing big. Now, there is some suggestion that somehow she FedExed a letter to the Philippines and that the embassy person gave it to Thomas Markle. But again, Samantha Markle said on Twitter that he didn't get a letter. So nobody knows if he got a letter or if he didn't get a letter. Nobody knows. So anyway, I have to be honest. I don't believe that Ravik is going to give Harry his security back. Remember, the incidents that are being reviewed are the New York car chase where nobody was arrested and there were cameras and nothing happened because he's stupid and doesn't realize there's a camera on every corner. The stalker in the UK that had to be held back by security. And then there's a video showing that absolutely actually didn't happen. And the person yelling out was one of his own fan base. And then there was another event. He's not being chased. Nobody cares. And I think that's the thing that's hardest for him to accept, is that nobody really cares. He's not, there's nothing. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, I hope you guys have a fabulous day. Looks like, for me, it's going to be a high of 50. So I might actually get out of the house for a little while because it's cold. It's going down to 18 here in South Carolina, which is unheard of. So for those of you who are in my area, please, 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 if you have pets, please bring them in out of the cold. Animals shouldn't be outside in 18-degree weather. It's just so wrong. It's just so wrong. Being a pet owner, not a jailer. Don't be a douche. Okay. I hope you guys have a fabulous Sunday and look out for my video tomorrow. You're really going to want to watch that one. Okay. Bye, everybody.